It's about that time.
Pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4. Here we go. Roger.
And on Insights, two eyes in the middle. INSIIGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
This is Mickey Clayton, DTHE coach. I'm here with my ace. I will let him introduce himself because he said I didn't do him justice last time.
Well, that's not true, Coach. You know, you always give me justice. You know, it's your reporter, your favorite reporter, Rick Brown here. What is going on, fans and everyone watching worldwide? Coach Clayton.
Yes, sir.
My man, tell me something good today.
Man, I got to pick up from somebody gave you a compliment off the last show. They said the best part of the whole show was when John Grant finished. And they said, Rick, the reporter, just said, wow. They said John Grant was so deep with the stuff he said that the reporter could only say, wow.
Are they trying to say I talk too much? Are they I mean, that I was speechless in that moment? Because it is, I guess, a sin for reporters to just clamp up. But, you know, a good reporter should know when to just be silent and let the scene, if it's a game or whatever, or if it's a guest, if they're rolling, let them do their thing. And, hey, he brought the funk last week. I'm sorry. I mean, for everything from COVID to the games itself and the meaning to HBCUs, what this weekend means, I still say wow because he was that great. But thank you. I appreciate that.
You appreciate it. They said the exact quote was, wow, was the right response from the reporter after Mr. Grant's segment. I'm excited about the HBCU exposure. And then they said, it was unfortunate we were having the technical difficulties with Charlie Ward. You said all that good stuff about him and he couldn't hear you. They said, Coach, you had a look of distress on your face. We found out he couldn't hear everything that you had said.
But being the coach that you are, and being able to adjust on the fly, and shoot, you came back strong. So hey, that's the years of coaching experience
That's right.
that you was able to just do that on the fly.
Yeah, on the fly. I had to pick it up and go with it, boy. Hey, I guess Rashad Anderson will introduce him in a minute. He knows about when you be in those tight situations, all of a sudden you got to do something real quick or you going to look real dumb. But somebody else made a comment. They said, Mr. Grant seems like a wise man. They said, Charlie Ward is a great person and talented athlete. A great show with even better guests.
Agreed. I mean, the guests last week's show was great. I mean, you heard less of me. Hey, more guests, less of me. I guess that's what they're saying. Okay, we can handle that. But you know you miss me, Cowboy fans. I know it's all you. I know you miss me. Your day's coming. Your day's coming.
And somebody else made a comment. This is a Cowboy fan.
Uh-oh.
It's a nice show, gentlemen. Sorry, Coach. I'm a Coca-Cola man, too. How did y'all miss the Olympics? What were you doing? What were y'all doing? I said, well, that was kind of tongue-in-cheek when we were talking about people government. He said, HBCU power to ESPN and cricket thumbs up. Really enjoyed John Grant and Charlie Ward interviews. Again, wow was the right response from the favorite reporter. Oh, we got a lot of positive feedback from it, and it was a good show. Like somebody told me, said you had two different guests, and they said you could tell the relationship was different, even though the interviews were good. They said the relationship was different. I said John was just like one of the guys. He just fit right in with you and Rick. Like he was sitting there watching the game, eating some barbecue. I said that seems to be what we hear all the time. We chopping it up around some barbecue.
What kind of barbecue? I mean, what goes on barbecue, Coach? What's a good sauce to go on barbecue?
Jank barbecue sauce. Way to walk me in the Jank barbecue sauce. Get it online. JANK, minority owned, minority taste. Yes.
Yes,
No.
indeed.
We're going to get to this show. But first, before we get to the show, I have a gentleman that I want to kind of share his tape interview because he's actually over in the Ukraine right now. With me today, I have a son of FAMU legendary basketball player. His name is Dayon Griffin. His mom's name was April Manning. All of you out there in women basketball land know about April. He used to call her Sally. And I've been connected with him for a long, long time, all the way back in high school, watching him play and growing up and traveling the world, playing what he loves to do, which is basketball. Dayon, welcome to Insights.
Thank you for having me. Feels good to be here, finally getting on this thing with you and get to talk about what's going on.
Well, Dayon, I tell you, I was a little upset with you. You off in a different country. For the first time in forever, I lost track of where you were. Tell everybody over here in America where you are and where you're playing now.
Okay, so right now I'm in Ternopil, Ukraine. It's kind of a small city in Ukraine, but it's very nice, very beautiful. The team is a good team, good club. They came in 4th place last year. It's the Super League, so it's the top league in Ukraine. So it's a good situation, another good situation for me.
Okay, I know you on that UCF team. I saw play Zion in Columbia, South Carolina, when y'all almost pulled a shocker off.
Yeah.
Tell everybody a little bit about your path to get over there to Europe and follow this dream.
Well, since you brought that game up, I just gotta say I think about that game a lot because that was a big for me. That was a big turning point in my life. That was like the most craziest game I ever played in, ever been a part of, with so many fans, so many people watching that game, and it was heartbreaking to lose the way we did, but still we still made history at UCF, and I had to go, as you know, I had to go through a couple battles, but made it up on the other side. I can say that. My journey has been kind of crazy. My journey has been, I had some right out of college. I went to Kosovo, and that's when Corona broke out. So I only was there for like a month, so I didn't really get to get into my first professional season. I had to go through that, and then I was on pause for a minute, and that kind of just put everything on hold for a second. So it kind of made it tough for a lot of teams, overseas teams, or really NBA teams or whoever, to trust me and to trust my abilities and what I could do, because they didn't see it on a professional level yet. So that kind of was a setback, but getting into it with a good agent, I'll never forget Mark, good guy. He got me into Poland, and then once he got me into Poland, I was able to showcase my talent and showcase what I can do. And now everything's been rolling for me now. I'm in Ukraine now for my second year. I can say Poland was my first professional year officially, and then now this is my second year. I'm here in Ukraine.
What is your ultimate goal of what you want to do?
My ultimate goal is obviously to get to the NBA. I still feel like that's where I belong. But you know, at the end of the day, I just want to continue to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I love to do, and I'm getting paid for it. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, and I just feel blessed to be here where I'm at right now through all the challenges I've been through in my life. So really, I feel like I'm accomplished that goal now, and I'm just going to continue to keep down that path.
Okay, are you? Has the season just started over there? It's in the middle. It's in the end. Where are they in the Ukraine system in terms of the season?
We're in preseason right now. All the teams right now. Some Americans haven't even got here yet. So I'm really one of the first early batch to get here. So we're just training and going through like the preseason stuff and lifting and 2-a-day sessions and all that type of stuff right now.
What are the living conditions like over there?
Living condition is good. I'm in my apartment right now. It's pretty nice. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, but got a nice living room, good kitchen size. Everything is they treat you really good over here. One thing I want to tell people is that I know a lot of people are scared to come overseas because they don't know the living situation they're going to be in. But typically, like these clubs, they take care of you. They put you in a good situation and they put you in the right environment for you to thrive. Not to, it's a good environment for you.
Okay, well that's good to know because people do have a concern and
yeah.
I know you and your mom and all of us were kind of worried about you at first, with some of the stops you had, if you're going to get paid, if they're going to take care of you, you're a long way from home and people just don't know.
Yeah, I had a situation like that in Kosovo. That's why I was my first rodeo and went there for a month. I was only there for a month, but still I was supposed to get paid and they didn't pay me. And I played 6 games and in all 6 games we were close to we lost, but we were close to winning against some big teams that we had no chance of winning at before I got there. So, but that's just how the nature of the business works sometimes. It was a learning experience for me, really.
What advice would you give some of the people coming behind you that want to continue their career and don't know what to do?
I say go for it. Like if you feel like you don't want to take that risk, then I understand completely. But I mean, you ain't gonna get far if you don't take risks. You gotta take risks with your career. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta bet on yourself, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I feel like that's the only way to be if you're really trying to be successful. You have to bet on yourself.
You seem like I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dayon.
I was gonna say, just believe in your journey. Some people look into other people's journeys. People look into other people's paths and their success and what they're doing at the moment, and not, and they want to skip to that. But sometimes you got to take those steps first to get to where you want to get to. And a lot of people try to skip through that process.
I know when you were coming along, guard was always your position. Always seemed to be some controversy over if you were a point guard or a 2 guard. And the position that you wanted to play, what position do they have you playing now? You more a lead guard, a 2 guard?
Well, Coach, I was talking to Coach before I came here, and he was saying for my role for this team would be combo guard. So he wants me to handle the ball too, but he wants me to put the ball in the basket. So the main thing is be able to put the ball in the basket. So, whatever I have to do, he was like, I'm not going to hold you back on your game. I'm going to let you play your game. And he's building a team around me to allow me to, show my game because I can pass, I can dribble, I can get others involved too as well. So he's gonna let me show that. So that's a good thing for me as my second year professional. That's good.
I always wanted you to be a little more aggressive. I always thought you had the ability to score from the first time I saw you play. I always thought you had the ability to score. She doesn't like to hear it, but your mom was kind of like that. We had to stay on her to be more aggressive too, because she did so many things well. And then when needed, she might step up and score. But if she was more aggressive, she could have always averaged more very easily. She was team oriented, which I'm sure she instilled that in you as well.
Yeah, she has instilled that into me as a young age since Powell. Since I can remember, my mom first put a basketball in my hand. It's always been about the team, but I also hear this a lot too, that, you know, I need to take over more. Like I heard that in Poland. My coach told me, you know, you need to take over more. Like assistant coaches should tell me, you know, shoot the shot, don't pass the ball to him because we trust you with the shot more so than we trust him with the shot, you know. So just learning that, you know, getting that instilled in me, you know, it's kind of been helping me honestly with my professional career, because now I know that they want you to put the ball in the basket. Like you come over here, you got to put the ball in the basket. They got other people that can pass the ball. So, you know, so that's definitely a big thing for me right now in my career.
Well, we're glad that we were able to connect, because I know it's almost 7 hours, 8 hours ahead of us. It's night over there now, right?
Yeah, 7:46 p.m. over here.
Yeah, and it's just after, it's
7
going on 12
hours ahead. Another thing you go ahead. Yeah, the time change is crazy.
How long does it take your body to adjust to that?
Usually for me, I would say a good week, honestly. I'm still adjusted to the time US, but knowing that, you know, I have in the early morning, I gotta force myself to go to sleep to get adjusted to the time. So it's not that bad once you get used to it, but it's kind of rough the first week, like I said.
Dayon, what's your social media handle? What's your Instagram account and stuff like that, so we can put it out there? So anybody who wonders how to reach you, they could let them know how to get to you.
So my Instagram is I am DG10, and my Twitter is Dayon G_10. So anything, really everything, just DG10. If you want to find me, just type in DG10 or any one of them social media, and you're gonna find me.
Well, we appreciate you, and you know, appreciate you getting up with us, and wishing you the absolute best of luck, and for you to rep FLA while you over there.
Yes, sir. That's the plan, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me on Insights, and I'll be looking for this and staying tuned with what you got going on as well.
Well, we appreciate it. I know you one of the few people we gave an Insights lid to. They gave him an Insights hat, y'all. Back in the day, he was at UCF. Yeah. They gave him an Insights hat.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Still got it up at my mom's house. Still there.
Still there.
Got it hanging up.
Tell her to make sure she let us know, you know, when you start playing, so we can kind of watch you. We saw some of your games that you played last year on YouTube. Yeah,
I'm gonna make sure I get the link to you. I'm gonna send it to you directly, because you know how my mom can get sometimes. So I'm gonna make sure you get that directly so you can stay up to date with that and watch some games.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. We could actually post it and let people know who are interested in what you're doing, that they could see. We want everybody to be aware of where you are, because they need some more players out there. I'm looking at the summer league. I like what I saw with some of them.
Yeah, it's a talent. It's a talented draft this year. I can say it's a very talented draft this year. Though. It's a very talented draft. I think the NBA Summer League this year is probably the best it's been in a few years, couple years. I can say that now.
Well, last summer, or 2 summers ago, you worked out with the Orlando Magic a lot. You know, what would it take for you to be able to get an opportunity to do that?
Well, see, that's the thing. I was actually talking to my old agent who got me connected with them this past summer, and he was saying that, you know, he think we should give it another run. So, you know, I just got to continue doing what I'm doing over here. Say, just have another good season. I think they know they know my name already. So, you know, because even after Summer League, I was with them for like 2 months working out with the actual team, Markelle Fultz, Terrence Ross, Aaron Gordon, you know, some of the guys that were really on contract. So, you know, I just got to continue to keep doing what I'm doing. And I know that I'm going to get another shot. That's why I say that's my ultimate goal, is to get to the NBA. So I'm not going to stop on my dream. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and keep taking the routes that God blessed me with, and just keep using that as a tool to get back to where I'm supposed to be.
first overseas interview, all the way from Ukraine.
Yeah, when he said Kosovo, I was like, didn't they have war over there? Wasn't some craziness going on Kosovo? Wow. But he said he was only over there for a month, but wow. I take hats off to anybody who will go anywhere to pursue their dreams. I have no problems with that, and I salute them for that. Definitely.
Well, as we told those guys when I was coaching the fam and those who went overseas, we always told them, put off working 8 to 5 long as you can. Put your money aside, get paid for having fun. Put off working 8 to 5 long as you can.
Amen.
However, another legend from Lakeland. I don't know who's the bigger legend. But I'm going to let you introduce your host.
Well, I'll tell you who the bigger legend is, and it's hands down. I don't know whether to call him Gunner. No, that's not right. Sharpshooter, Dagger. I've heard Dagger before. I like Dagger because he'll stick the dagger in you. If you need a bucket, just call him Mr. Buckets. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to some, but present to most. Rashad Shaheed Anderson.
Man, you with the whole government, man.
What's happening, Sean? Welcome to Insights. Welcome to the MicknRick Show.
Man, I'm a pleasure to be here, man. Thank you for having me, man. Love what you guys are doing, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. It's basketball season, and we're checking out the NBA Summer League. And you had a stint in the Summer League. Before we get to, let's go to your background first. Tell people a little bit about yourself, Shad. You went to Kathleen High School in Lakeland, and then from Kathleen, where did you go?
University of Connecticut, won a national championship 2004, all Final Four team, NBA. It was an unbelievable ride, man. I mean, sometimes I think back and be like, how blessed I was just to do some of the things. Some people, they say, hey, when you talk about winning a national championship, you know how hard that is to actually win it. It was just, we got hot at the right time, and we knew we was better than everybody else. There was nobody who was going to beat us that tournament. You had me and Ben Gordon on the other end shooting threes. So, it was like, pick your poison. Pick your poison.
And inside you had
Emeka Okafor. It's crazy because during that year, we used to have every general manager in the NBA at our practices. Like daily. Once like January hit, we would have Jerry Cross from the Bulls, God rest his soul, the Celtics, Danny Ainge, Doc Rivers. Everybody used to peep their head in all the time. We'd be on the road at games, GMs, owners popping their head in, watching us practice. I'm saying like, man, ain't that the owner from what's name? Like, yeah, dog. I'm just bucking the damn practice. Y'all better, hey, pass the rock. It'd be practice like, and it's crazy because we had me. The starting five was me, Talik Brown, Ben Gordon, Emeka Okafor, Josh Boone. Then coming off the bench, you had Denham Brown, Hilton Armstrong, Charlie Villanueva. Man, it's Marcus Williams, the point guard. Like, man, we had about 10 pros on this team, man. It was crazy.
But see, good teams seem to follow you because you won a state championship back in high school with Lakeland.
Oh, yeah. I just worked hard. I can remember growing up and sacrificing, hanging out to go to parties, and I would be in the gym working on my game. And my best friend to this day, I got a nephew who's pretty good, KJ Parker. He's real good, like 6'1", 6'2" point guard. He had Bartow High School. He's gonna be real. He's the next one in line. He's tough, and I can remember just staying out of the way, getting my work in, and other kids telling me, "Oh man, you'll never play at a big school. That's impossible. You never play at Duke, North Carolina. Who you think you are?" I'm like, Rashad Anderson. I don't worry about who other people are. I know what I'm doing, and I do. This is what I want to do. So it really came together. Even my dad was like, when I went to Nike All-American camp, I think the first game I had like 38 points, and every school in America was watching this particular game. And my dad was like, "Son, you did some work today?" I'm like, I did a little something. He said, "Man, I just got about 12 different calls, man, from different schools offering you scholarship, bro. Me and your mom in here can't, we on the phone and it's Beam. Yes, this is coach from Iowa State. Beam. This is coach from Alabama. Beam. This is coach from Florida. Beam. This is coach from Auburn. Beams, Miami, Florida State. When can we get an in-home visit? And it's just develop a passion of just to any of you young kids out there watching this video, if you love the game of basketball, baseball, you got to put in the work. It's not going to be handed to you. I see all these parents, they keep, the AAU basketball now is just ridiculous. I see parents taking their son and daughter off this team. You don't get that team. I don't like the way the coach playing. Listen, at some point, your kid is going to face adversity. You got to let them get through that. As long as the coach is not disrespecting you, demeaning your kid, let them be coached. Let them go through a little adversity to where, okay, well, I got to figure out why this coach is not playing me. Like my coach ain't played me the first 5 games of UConn. And I know I'm supposed to deserve to be on the court. I could have transferred either. My dad said, no, you signed a commitment. You gonna be there at least a year. I'm like, Dad, I'm killing the practice. Hey, son, just figure it out. It's gonna be all right. I'm murdering in practice. I'm like, I know this, but it comes down to a numbers game. I'm like, okay. So when I got my opportunity, the moment I got my opportunity, we was down UMass, and I ended up hitting like 6 threes and bringing us back down. From then on, I was playing. So I had to make my college coach play. And if anybody knows my college coach, this man is ludicrous. Like, he's crazy. Like crazy. Like some of the stuff he said when we was in college 20 years ago, he'd be fired tomorrow. Like he'll be fired. He'll get him fired the other day. Like, there's no way he could survive if he was in today's game talking to kids these days, because a lot of these kids today can't handle coaches like old school coaches like that. They'll run. I've seen coach run McDonald's All-Americans out of practice, out of school, because he'll ride you. He'll ride you and he'll test you to see if you're gonna give in or if you're gonna just fold. And I had the mentality like, no, coach, you're not gonna break me. I mean, I had two wonderful parents growing up, and a father who's like a drill sergeant. So if I can handle him, I know I can handle you, bro. I can deal with all the BS that you're going to throw at me, try to play mind games with me and things of that nature. So I can deal with that. So that's no problem.
And Drew, your high school coach was kind of along that same path too.
Crazy. I mean, I can remember we was in what's the tournament down south? City of Palm. So we're playing a team, and I think we had went out, or typical high schools. We went out the night before a game, just snuck out, went to hanging out, whatever, and then got back, and coach just sitting in the lobby like, I hope y'all play tomorrow. So we get out, we dog it. I mean, we dogging it bad, man. And he came back in the locker room. I'm talking about rip me a new one. You think I need you? Huh? You think I need you, dude? You got all these people out here. You on the UConn, you think I need you? I'll sit you down the rest of the game. I don't need you. I don't need you, dude. Who you think you are? Superstar? I think I had like 9 threes in the second half. Like something, I don't know. I think somebody else broke the record, but I had like 9 threes the second half. I ended up with like 39, 41 points or something crazy. But it's just, a lot of kids, I feel that a lot of parents are cheating the game. They trying to live vicarious through their kids, which is nothing wrong with that. But I think sometimes they just got to let their kids just play and let them enjoy it first before they actually start getting serious. Like my son is 8 years old, and it's even worse for me because I actually played the game, and it's YouTube. So my son will YouTube my games and be like, Dad, you shoot threes. So the first thing he get the ball, he goes straight to the 3-point line. I want to shoot. So I have to trick him and be like, okay, let's do this. If we work out and do the fundamentals, mid-range, jump shots and whatnot, the next half hour, you can do whatever you want. So he does that faithfully. Then it's, Dad, come on, let's shoot. I'm like, son, you're never going to beat me shooting, son. Like, I ain't got to run up and down and shoot the ball, son. Like, you know, I ain't got to run up and down and shoot the ball. But shooting the ball, son, I'm not letting you beat me one-on-one until you're at least 18.
Don't ever let them beat you. Don't ever let them beat you. Trust me.
Listen, my dad stopped playing me at 13.
Yes.
Well, Rashad, in your career, you actually played in the summer league for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the people how different the summer league now is than it was.
It's totally different now. I mean, obviously the game has changed. Everybody's shooting threes now. I'm sitting there like, I'm looking at these kids. You got guys averaging shooting 35%, 32%, getting $40 million. I'm like, man, what's going on here, man? This is crazy. I'm talking about you got guys getting wide open looks, playing with superstars, and only shooting 30%, 32%, and that's 35. And that's a great percentage. I'm sitting there like, this can't be real. But the game has changed so much that and it's, you got to deal with the political. See, people don't think that politics play a role in sports, and it does, big time. Because let's be honest, if you get 2 minutes, you're not going to be really to show what you can do in 2 minutes. Now, I mean, that's impossible. On any level, I don't care what level it is, it's almost impossible to show what you can do in 2 minutes of time. So for any of the young guys, I would say they should pick the right situation to help them get on the floor. Now, if you know they just drafted 3 guards and I'm a shooting guard and I didn't get drafted, those guys are going to play the bulk of the minutes. Go someplace else. You know, go someplace else. And that way you'll get a real opportunity. My situation with the Wizards was they didn't have anybody, but I ended up turning my ankle a week, like 2 days before summer league. So I'm playing like on a like a golf, like literally a softball size ankle, and I'm just out there, man. And I'm sitting there shaking my head like, man, come on, God. Come on, man. Come on, man. So when they didn't sign me to come to camp, my agent like, hey, I got a deal in Greece for you. What you want to do? Let's go. I'm out.
And how long were you overseas?
12 years.
You had a few opportunities to come back, but you always ended back overseas. Why is that?
It was a business decision. I mean, I went in. I remember working for the Heat, and that was my best. I mean, I tell these people this story every time. This was like my best free agent workout. It was with the Miami Heat. But if anybody knows Pat Riley, he's like a huge body fat guy, like a huge. So I go down and I'm literally just finished the playoffs in Italy. I come back and I go straight. I maybe have time to drop my bags off at home, and I go straight to my flyer. They booked me a flight. I'm going straight down for a 3-day mini camp in Miami. When I tell you, I probably shot. This is back in like 09, 08, 09. So I think I'm in pretty good shape. I mean, I'm ripped. I got abs. So I'm deep. So I probably shoot 70% for the entire camp. This is no BS. 70. I wasn't missing a lot. And they did the body phase like, Ra, we get to camp. I'm like, man, I know they for the sign. Give me some money to come to camp. They got to. Man, Pat Riley said he singled me out. I was like, Ra, you're an NBA player, but your body fat's too high. Your body fat's like 9%.
Wow.
9%, bro. I'm lean. I like my guards to be around like 4 or 5%. I'm like, Pat, just give me 2 weeks, bro. Just give it. Wow. If that is stopping me from getting on this squad, just give me 2 weeks to come and work out with your trainer, man. Like, I mean, I'm literally coming from overseas. And when I talked to Udonis Haslem about it, he told I was able to run a UD a couple years later, and he was telling us like, yeah, man, I came from the first time I came there, they wasn't gonna take me because I was big. You know, when he was at Florida, he was huge.
Right.
He was huge. He spent the whole year in France that year, just getting his body in shape. You know, getting his body in shape. When he came back, he went from like 320, 280 to UD like 215, 220 power forward. And he got his body fat under, it was lower than 9%. It's probably like 6%. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man. He was like, yeah, bro, man. Pat just a different dude when it comes to body fat. He he'll tell you the only person I ever let come to camp out of shape is Shaq. That's the only person. If you remember, Pat, back in the day, Antoine Walker didn't play until he got in shape.
Right.
Think about that. So I mean, from that moment on, I never was out of shape. I never was out of shape. I made sure for the rest of my career when I was playing, I never let my body fat go probably above 6 or 7% because I never knew when an opportunity would come again. And I'm like, man,
all the time.
I'm like, man, wow.
But it worked out for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It worked out for you.
The right agent.
What's that?
How important is it to have the right agent?
Right agent?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to have the right people with you. You got to have the right agency. And I would advise any guys, if you're going to stay overseas, to get a European agent. So any young guys out there, unless you got a good American agent, I would get a European agent because they're over there. Just think about this. If you're home and just say you two guys, Coach, Rick, say Rick is the overseas agent, right? And you're the American agent. Rick is doing all the work, negotiate. And I got to split a check with you. I got to split a check at 10%. The team gonna pay it, but say I get, $500,000 contract, I got to send you $25,000 and you doing all the work. If Rick has me by himself, he gonna do more work because he's like, man, I'm getting all this commission. I'm gonna do everything work. So it came down to when I ended up getting a European agent, it came down to economics. I had coming off a great year. He was like, hey man, look, this is what I got in front of you. I got X, Y, and Z, but he emailed me contracts and I'm looking and I'm like, he said, but if I get you this deal, I'm gonna need you to come with me. I said, bro, if you get this deal done, ain't no talking about it. I'm sending a letter to FIBA tomorrow. Let's go. This ain't personal. This business. I like you, my guy, but this man here is getting me the bag. I'm going with him. Period. I got mouths to feed. This ain't no personal decision. This ain't no, hey man, I like it, man, so I'm gonna take less money. No, sir. Can't do that.
Over there. I mean, I just heard Dayon, he's probably at a different level than where you were, but what is it like to play overseas?
Oh, it's amazing. If you in the right situation, I was in Italy for 4.5 years. That was amazing. Never had one time. My money, this is the thing. A lot of people can't handle overseas because you got to get used to the small things. Like sometimes your money might be 2 weeks late, might be 3 weeks late, but you get it. You know what I mean? 2 weeks is normal. I had to get used to this. So I'm like, hey man, what's up with the money? Tomorrow. That's what they hit you with. So I like, okay. So my team was like, hey man, you got paid? He's like, yeah, they get paid. So it's not some clubs you never have to worry about. Like it's direct deposit in your account. If you get paid on the 1st, it's on the 29th. Some clubs are like that. Some they'll be a little late, but you still get your money. I've only not got one check when I played, and that was my first year when I went to Greece. My last check, I never got my last check. I didn't care because I knew I was going to re-up again because I had a good year my first year. So I knew I was going to re-up. So I was like, man, I'm good. It's cool. And everybody told me, like, man, Greece notorious for not paying people. But my agent at the time, he made sure I got all of it except that one. So it was cool. It worked out.
Wow. So you were able to have an opportunity to play, extend your career, and not take care of your family.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, now what you said about being able to find or secure a European agent, I think that's a great piece of advice in the time that I've been coaching and dealing with guys who've gone overseas to play. I never
Because
heard.
the American agent is not over there. He doesn't know these teams. He doesn't negotiate with his team. He doesn't speak their language. It's different if you're in the States. Now, if you're in the States, yeah, you need an American agent because they know tricks and tricks. But if you're in Europe, you're dealing with their situation, their set of rules. They're governed by people. I would advise guys get a good European agent. And if you want to come back, get you an American agent.
I had a guy that played overseas and he was dating a young lady from European descent. And he said, Coach, one of the things that was amazing was that they never understood, because he said it wasn't over there, was racism. And he said he could not explain to her what it was. And they didn't really see color. They just saw people.
He said there was racism over there.
He said it wasn't racism.
Oh my God! This is God's honest truth. The only country in the world I've ever experienced racism is in America. This is the only country I've ever, and I've been to Israel, I've been to Iran, I've been to Lebanon. I played in all three of those countries. The only country I've ever experienced racism is in America. The only country.
Wow.
I mean, I can remember, I get stopped by the police in Europe. I'm like, oh man, how you doing, officer? How you doing, officer? Anderson, hey, slow down. I know you shoot the basket, but slow down, bro. Slow down. All right, officer, my bad, man. I was late for practice, man. My bad, man. Okay, go. I never have a problem. Not one time. I mean, I lived in Iran for like 8 months. It was probably one of the most beautiful countries I've ever visited. Like people have this what they see on TV, and it's not necessarily how these countries are. I not had one problem. My money was on time every month, sometimes beforehand. I never had one issue. The team loved me. The fans loved me. My neighbors. I didn't speak Farsi, so they would order I just go knock on my neighbor's door. They would order fresh fruit. They would get fresh fruit delivered to me, every day, every morning. And I'm sitting there like, this is amazing, man. Like, why do people really don't understand? But it's the media that fuels all the propaganda and everything like that to show you that, oh, this is what happened in this country. And you're like, wait, what? Man, I ain't never had one issue here. Never.
Rashad, he told me that. And he said, Coach, there was nothing I could even give them to compare what racism was like for them to comprehend. He said she was just completely lost. So he said he just, enjoyed the relationship that he was in. He said it was no racism. They just judge you on how you look.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. You see, I think the reason why we've never experienced it because their way of life is not based on oppression. In Europe, there's never been a recorded history of anything like the U.S. slave trade. There's never been in recorded history anything like United States slave trade. Nowhere on earth can you pull up records how human beings were subject to that type of hate and cruelty. Their ideologies weren't built on that. They didn't make black people a currency. Because if you think about it, if you go back years, our ancestors were the first money in America. If you think about that psychologically, that has a lot of effect, and that's one of the main reasons why we're still, as a whole. Now, there's some people, African Americans, who are successful, yes, but as a whole, it's like you had a 400-year head start, and it's like, okay, catch up, pull yourself up by your bootstrap.
Yeah, it's different. It is definitely different. So, what are you doing now, Shad? Are you Are you still training, or are you going to are you going to get back in shape and try for this new positionless NBA now? Since
Oh
that's
no,
what they're
oh
doing.
no, oh no, my body ain't gonna hold up for that. Listen, I had probably one of the roughest Italian coaches and Yugoslavian coaches, man, who didn't believe in days off, man. He probably took 3 years off my career. I could have probably still been playing the extra 3 years if it weren't for him. Oh my God. Didn't believe in practice. Like days off was coming in watching film. We used to be taped, shoot around before games, 2-hour practice before games, taped. Yeah.
Man, that's harder than you,
That's
coach.
a shoot around there, so you better take yourself up.
Oh man, it wasn't no going out, coach. It wasn't no going out with this coach. I was like, hey man, you going out? Nah, bro. I'm going home. But no, I can't play no more, Rick, man. I can't. My body won't hold up, man. But I do still work out though. I ride my bike. I do about 10 to 18 miles 3 times a week. I lift. I still train kids when I got time. But I'm a family guy. I like being around my kids and just hanging with them, being the dad, and taking them places, and doing real estate. Right now, I'm in school to get my general contractor license because I love it. I'm gonna start building homes soon. So,
All right.
We played University of Georgia. The only nationally ranked team to ever come and get the gym is FAMU. Andy Landers was coaching the women's team. They were ranked the top 3 in the country. Was at point, and Donovan at 6'8". They were pretty special. So we got shoot around, and I'm getting ready to leave. Yeah, he's a Mickey. Where you going? I said, let you do shoot around. Oh, hell, ain't no secrets in this shit. Man, come on over here and talk to me. I walked in there for an hour. He ran the shit out of me. Oh, my God. He ran them. And I would work my girls. He ran them harder than we do a practice. He ran them for hours straight.
wow.
They ended up losing the Final Four in the championship game, but they were loaded. That was just what he believed in. And
Why did he run them?
I didn't ask any questions. He was already special. He played April Manning, whose son was on. She was hurt, didn't play. He already knew that. He said, "Where's the band? The Marching 100 gonna be here? I was gonna be in here when we play." He said, "Hell, Mickey, if we come in here and lose, then shit, we'll just be better for the next game. So, let's go." I mean, I love that about him. I mean, that's just the way he was. But with your advice and experience, I'm gonna just ask you one more question. We basketball guys, we could talk to tomorrow this time. Did you ever thought about being an agent, helping those kids overseas?
I thought about it, but man, listen, that's a brutal game. And I ain't throwing no names out there, but the way these kids, they can get paid now, let me tell you, I wouldn't have went to Connecticut if I can get paid today, like if it was legal. Put it that way. Hey, I probably would have been went. I ain't gonna say what schools or whatnot, because they cool, they're my guys, but I probably would have been in the SEC. I know for a fact I would have been in the SEC if it would have been like, if I didn't get paid like it is. No, but hey, possibly them, but it was another one not too far from them. They had some like light colors. That's all I'm saying. They had some real bright colors.
Like even green and went to the G League.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it's amazing that these kids have this opportunity to make money now, because they know the NCAA been at it for years. When we won a national championship at University of Connecticut, we probably built the new stadium, the football stadium. They took all the revenue that men's and women's basketball had and they dumped it into football. University of Connecticut just recently got the practice facility. After all these national championships, they built the $90 million stadium. They built a $25 million indoor practice stadium. And we were still practicing, running around the field house. Coach Calhoun had us run around in the field house with our grades on. You had to earn the right your uniform. And we didn't have a practice facility.
Wow. Well, who was on the girls' team when you were there?
Diane Taurasi. Yeah, that's probably the only major one. Barbara Turner. Man, they had guys women who played in the WNBA. You know, I mean, and it's crazy that I see these coaches, and I'm saying, man, like, shout out to my guy, Coach Calhoun. I love him to death, man, but he crazy, man. I'd never forget this. I think this is the year after we won a national championship. I came back. I decided to come back to school and not leave. And me and Charlie Vinovego, we killing. Like, we at Oklahoma, we killing. You know, they out rebound us in the second half. Something crazy, like 30-5. They come back. They beat us. And I'm like, you know what? You guys are soft. We're gonna practice when we get back. You know what? I don't want to even look at you guys. So the trainer, not the trainers, but the managers, they delivered pizza. You know, he was coming on the thing, man. So he kicked it off the bus.
Wait, he did what?
He either kicked it up. I don't know. It's been 20 years ago, man. He either kicked it up, threw it off the bus. You guys don't deserve to eat. So we get back to the store. We get back to the stores, man. And it's like we just start running.
What?
They're like, man, this man is insane, man. This man crazy.
And I thought you were crazy, coach. Man. I thought you were crazy, coach. Nah. No, he's got you by a little bit, coach. Just a little bit. Because you've done some crazy stuff too.
I mean, he used to go down the line. Coach used to go down the line and just point out what everybody thinking. He's worried about minutes. Rashad, he wants more shots.
Always.
You're talking to your damn agent. You think you're going top 5? He's just going down the road just naming everybody. And this year we won a national championship. And I'm like, dude, are you serious right now, bro? Like, dude, we about to get you another chip. And you, Ryan, bugging out. But that's my guy, though, man. He cool. That's my dude, man.
Man, hey, look. Rick, I owe you a thank you for connecting with Rashad. You know, the Lakeland legend, I always thought that was Rick Brown, but now I met the guy who is the second leading scorer all time in school history.
Yes, sir.
I got a chance to have him on the MicknRick Show.
Hey, and to tell you how much he's a big Lakeland guy, in their championship photo, Rashad did a little L. And if you looked at his hand, it had the L out there for Lakeland. And I was like, look at him. But I'm still mad at him.
Man, I gotta send y'all some jerseys, man.
The L, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta send y'all some of my college jerseys, man, to put up on your memorabilia, man.
Please do. We would definitely put it up. Definitely.
Oh man, I got a ton of them, man. I got you. Well, Rick, when you get done, just send me your address.
Okay. Don't send me no poster of you dunking on Georgetown, though. No more. No more posters of you dunking on Georgetown, okay?
Hey, man, cool. That's originally where I wanted to go, but Coach Thompson wasn't there no more.
I know, right?
Would make a difference. that would make a difference.
Appreciate you, Rashad.
Rashad, we have really, really enjoyed having you on our show.
Man, anytime, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Man, don't say anytime now. We will call and have you back again.
Man, anytime. I love doing this, man. That's no problem. Talking basketball, talking hoops, I love it. There's no problem. And give me a release when somebody not cussing me out for calling their house, trying to buy their house.
Now, before I go, I need to ask you one more question.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thought on the summer league? And who stood out to you in the summer league that you got a chance to see?
This past year?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I haven't really watched any. I watched bits and pieces of it. But I think because of his brothers, he obviously the middle brother, Jello, the Ball brothers. I think somebody gonna sign him because he has a unique skill. He can shoot, man. He can shoot. You got guys who athletic, but he can't shoot. Well, he a project. Like some of the people making decisions, they need to fire themselves because they overanalyze. In today's game, they talking about analytics this, analytics that. Talking about a 2-dribble pull-up is a bad shot. What? How? How? When the two of my favorite players ever, Kobe, God bless his soul, and MJ, lived in the mid-range. So how was that a bad shot?
I got you. Well, I'm gonna tell you, the kid I like is gonna be a battle between Jalen Green and Cunningham for the rest of their career. That Jalen Green,
Yeah.
comes out the gym and pulls up a three, and he talks smack like Rick Ryan.
Yes.
And when he hit three on you, he get in your face and say something to your body.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Cam does a little bit of everything, kind of Scottie Pippen like with a jumper.
Yeah, and he got long arms too, real long.
And Jalen, every interview he said, "Look, I got a chip on my shoulder because I wasn't the number 1 pick, so I got a point to prove."
I love it.
I love that too. I love that attitude and that swagger.
I love it.
So we get a little bit close to the NBA season and stuff. We're gonna get you back in here. So.
Oh yeah. I'll be here, man. I was probably my son. You know, my son is a James Harden and LeBron fan, so he made me, Dad, are we gonna? So I already bought tickets. I'm getting ready to buy tickets for the Lakers Magic game, and I got to take my son because he's like on my head about that.
You got it. But you home with him now, and can do some stuff with him. So just enjoy that time that you have to be with your son. And
Absolutely.
Son thing, father son thing.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, appreciate you, Shad. Definitely.
Man, appreciate it for having me, man. You guys take care. Make sure you send me your address so I can send you guys your jerseys, man.
Absolutely, we will do that. And I know. And first thing we gonna say, boy, you better put that shit up so you gonna hit them from the shot now.
Hey, make sure you get it because Rick might put it on eBay or something.
Hey, coming from someone who never saw a daggone jumper that he didn't like. Come on, man. Come on, I got you.
My man.
We appreciate you for real.
No problem, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Peace.
All right.
Stay up to date with the latest from Insights. Visit our website at insights.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSIIGHTS.
Insights is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on Insights represent their independent thoughts and representations.
We out, even though I'm frozen. I can still talk.
I thought that was you with a big smile. I said, look at you smiling to the end. Hey, good job. That was a good guess you got there, boy, Rick. That was pretty good, Rick.
Hey, he's great guy for real. And I mean, great basketball player. One of the best shooters, and I'm not even exaggerating now, in Polk County history. But even a better person. So I was glad he was able to do the show. And I appreciate you, Coach.
I appreciate you, Rick. We'll talk real soon.
All right, folks. Until next week.